Hey, what's up, good people, and welcome back to the channel today for a special interview. I am here with a face that you've already seen this year, and then hopefully you have maybe seen it on this app. But if not, you got a third chance to see this face right here, this talented person in Marko Zaror, who is the star of the new film, Fist of the Condor, which is available right now on the Hiya app. And if you do not have that, get it. You could also get it on Blu-ray and DVD May 23rd. And as I mentioned, you may have seen him earlier in this year as one of the stars in John Wick. For Marko, my guy, how you feeling today?
Good, man. Good,
It
good.
it
Thank you
has
for the
been
invite, man.
absolutely. It has been a year for you, my friend. And I just wanted to start off by just saying, how are you taking it all in? It is only May, and you are swinging for the fences. I believe you have about 3 home runs already on the board. But
Mhm.
overall, how are you feeling, my guy?
Well, good, man. What can I say? Very grateful for what's going on and very exciting moments and just trying to enjoy everything and take it in, embrace it and stay ready, stay training, stay, keep going, it's like so happy to see all that effort of the team in John Wick pay off and see the reactions of the fans, and that was amazing, man. That was just
Yeah.
it's very nice. And now with the Fist of the Condor, same thing, more a much personal movie, something that I did for a very honest place, from like the need of expressing myself in a moment where we were kind of facing the end of the world,
Yep.
kind of thing, so yeah, man, it's nice. What can I say? I'm very exciting, very excited.
Absolutely, and congratulations thus far on the success of this year. We're going to start with John Wick because my first question is, the John Wick franchise is a no brainer for anybody that just have loved the series or just loves martial arts or just loves a good action film. So I didn't even really take a look at who was all casted because I already knew it was going to deliver. And the deeper and deeper I started to look before I seen the film, I was like, holy hell. I would love to know for you being in such a group and just mixing bowl of talent, whether you talk about some of the best martial artists, some of the best stunt actors. I mean, the combination of folks that were all involved within this project. For yourself being a part of that, what were some of the discussions or some of the moments outside of filming that you had with some of these folks? Whether you had a conversation with somebody like Scott Atkins or, obviously in Keanu Reeves himself. But what were some of those moments you've had in the filming process here?
Yeah, well, with Scott, we're friends. We've been friends since Undisputed 3. So we always find a time. If we are in the same place, in the same city, we'll find a time to go and just have a good dinner or have a good
Yeah.
talk. He's a very cool guy, and we were both like celebrating, kind of. We were both like, wow, man, that's cool that we after all these years we end up meeting in this amazing project, working with a Chad, that he's kind of, he changed the business. He really, what he did with John Wick, we, that as martial artists, we do respect, and we really like, we're thankful for having someone that has that the guts to just being able to do what he's doing, because
Yeah.
he's kind of going against a little bit of the
The
of the
norm.
the norm,
Mhm.
and he's proving it. Look,
Yep.
man, when you do things right and you put the right people in the right places, you're gonna get this type of result. Like when you're doing an action movie with martial arts, this is the type of people that you got to bring in, no matter what you think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And at the end, it's like he really embraced the real martial artists and the real talent for this type of movies, and
Yep.
we're really thankful for that, because it's our opportunity in these big movies to do what we love and to share with the people, right?
Yeah.
So, and it takes a guy like him to put that fight. You know what I'm saying? So he's doing that, and of course with Keanu, that he's a passionate like fan of the genre.
Yeah.
You know, like he's such a hard work guy, and he has this passion for this genre, that he also embraced this discipline and this training and
Yeah.
this all these people that are behind this type of movies, you know. So, you know, look at his career, like Matrix. Then actually he direct his own like martial arts film, and he were like the Men of Tai Chi, you know. So he's very passionate about it, and when you put these two guys together, you get the number one franchise action martial arts movie ever, and
Yes.
that's John Wick. You know, it's like it's
Mm.
crazy, man. And for me, it was just like every day was joy. I was just with a big smile every day on set. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, man. What can I say? You know.
I love what you said there. I actually just recently had a conversation about films with a friend, and I was talking about how, like, you know, over the years we've seen folks who are credited as stunt actors in terms of being on set to help orchestrate the choreography or the action scenes, now actually be in the forefront and doing their own work for their own characters, and now even leading their own film. And this is the direction I, as a fan, I want to see continuously, see the folks who has a passion, who also has the background for these characters, but yet, you know, when you talk about martial arts, but who actually has the craft, the skill, the tools, you know, the education to actually be the character itself, and not helping somebody be the character. And I think that, you know, this is why more and more we're seeing more and more good action films, and it's just feeling more and more real. And I think anybody who's just a fan of martial arts and action are feeling just more connected to them, because the right people are in the right positions, as you mentioned. And I think that, you know, this is absolutely the way, and it wasn't always the way, but it's absolutely the way.
Yeah, and well, that's and you get a guy like Keanu, where maybe he might not be a martial artist from the beginning, but
Yeah.
he has put so much work
Yep.
into it, you know, and he's so dedicated that he kind of won this thing into himself. Like he
Yeah.
really like he is John Wick. Like
Yeah.
I'm telling you, when I was on set, and he's an amazing screen fighter. He does his own like car, you know, turns and almost all the stunts, not the dangerous like crushing stuff, of course, but he got to a level of expertise and skills that are really amazing. You know what I'm saying? And I believe like we talk about the same thing. That's what, like, fans, I know we're seeing a movie. I understand that. I know a movie is being made by different elements and combining and then using CGI and making an illusion, right? We're talking an illusion. But there's always going to have that realism, humanity element that fans will appreciate, and they'll know. And it's like me, when I saw Bruce Lee, man, you know, I always mix kind of, I remember mixing reality with fantasy. I did believe, because the way he moved and the way he was, that he could enter a dojo and kick everybody's ass. I wanted to believe that. You see what I'm saying? So it feeds that fantasy, right? So then when you have a character in a movie that is doing this type of films, and you feel that the guy is not prepared for that, and they're using tricks and CGI, you don't engage, you don't connect the same way. And that's why Bruce Lee is Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Donnie Yen, like these guys that are legends, and they're years and years, and people still look up to them. It's not like the popular actor that becomes the fans, and then the guy kind of died down,
phases away.
You know, in the genre, in the martial art films, we develop this thing that it's not just an actor that is a famous guy because whatever he is in movies. Is we admire that discipline, we admire that expertise, we want to see that person expressing himself in different movies, but we want to go see that person. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, I want to go see a Bruce Lee movie. Okay, what's the movie about? Okay, I'll figure out. I don't care. I want to go see Bruce Lee. I want to go see Jackie Chan. You know what I'm saying? I want to go see Jean Claude. You know,
Yep.
when he was doing the splits and his thing
Yep.
and his, you know, that's another example, right?
Yep.
So that is what I feel that now they're finally starting slowly to understand, and that
Yep.
gives us a lot of opportunities to people like me, right? Where I'm first of all, I'm a martial artist, and this
Yep.
is my life journey, and
Yep.
my whole thing through movies is to express myself as a martial artist, right? And find cool stories. And of course, I all the time working on my acting and doing these auditions and like the little things, to train, to get better in my acting, to express myself better, to deliver better. But at the end, my main thing is I'm a martial artist.
Yeah.
I want to, that's what I want to express through my movies.
Yeah.
And that's Fist of the Condor, in a moment in my life where I was facing the end of the world, and I'm like, okay, what's the movie that I want people to see of me if I gotta pick one thing, my last thing?
Yeah.
And that's how Fist of the Condor was born, right?
Yeah.
With that need of, like saying thanks or doing like a little homage to all my inspirations as a martial artist from Latin America.
Yeah.
It's like, how is the Latino kung fu film view? Like, if we grab that genre and we take it to our culture, what that look like? And that's
Yeah.
me. I'm a martial artist that was born in Chile, that I didn't have access. There was no YouTube. There was no anything. It was just a couple schools,
Yep.
some
Yep.
books, like
Yep.
some all, and everything was in the movies. Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, like looking and trying to mimic and try to understand and absorb
Yep.
this culture through the movies. You see, so then I'm like, I have to do a movie to kind of thanks for all this influence, and
Yeah.
in a way, in a respectful way, where I can also share my journey with the fans, and that was the first like energy, or the first thing that me as an artist, as a human being, was the trigger to make this film.
Yeah. Yeah, because like and feel like you're reading off of my notes here, because that's exactly how I felt, and this comes full circle because to just go right back to John Wick for a quick second. There's a scene in there that I think is probably going to be one of the best scenes in all of martial arts history, and I'll come back to that. But because of that scene, when I saw that this film was coming out and your name attached to it, I didn't care what it was about. I wanted to see what you would do in the independent set, which I already automatically knew was going to be a passion project, which I knew. And then within 5 to 10 minutes within the film, it felt personal and it felt relatable. And I'm just automatically locked into this character. I'm feeling the emotions, I'm feeling the journey. And then all of the other aspects of why I like a martial arts film started to come around, which I was going to ask you about, like, what was the training and prep for this film? Because it truly felt like a masterclass in technique and virtue, where I'm watching you not as a character, but it truly feels like yourself in that. It feels like you were really getting something off of your chest, off of your heart, and putting it into this character, and we're seeing it. And the fact that you mentioned what you mentioned, it just only solidifies everything I thought, which again, I should be saying thank you for putting this out, because while I can clearly tell that there's inspiration for this, this is definitely something that other folks are going to be inspired by. It's a wonderful film, but it's very personal, and I think that everybody who watches it will find means to connect with it just through the storytelling within this character, but how personal this character is to you. It's easily detectable in there. So for you, just mentally doing the training and doing the prep, knowing that the pandemic, that the time of the unknown, we have no clue when the next movie may come out. How does the next movie come out? If we're going to even have any more movies, there's a lot of question marks going on, but you took the time to say, I want to make sure that my fans, this is a love letter to you all, but for everybody who inspired me, this is a love letter to you all as well. I would just like to know, when it all was locked in, when the cameras started to roll, what was that mental mindset into doing the work? Because the training in this looks grueling. I mean, it looked very demanding of the body. And then again, as I said, beyond the technique, it's the virtue in it as well too, because there's lessons behind everything. And that's why I'm kind of sitting back. I watched it twice, sitting back thinking like, okay. I understand, and I love the duality within the film. This is why I truly love the film, because typically in martial arts films, you see the training, the preparation to getting out into whatever the real scenario is, and then the third act final fight. But we're seeing the training being sliced in with the fight. So you see, like, that's why that moment in training paid off for this. And you sit back and you say, I get that now. But again, I know it's a long-winded question here. Just again, to sum that all up, when the cameras were rolling, what was the mindset for you?
Yeah, well, the thing is that it's important to understand this. For me, the idea of this movie was to do something to stay honest to who I am as a martial artist. So this movie was written with my notes that I had from my whole life journey as a martial artist. So what I did with Ernesto, that is my partner, director, writer, friend, that we.
I love when y'all team up, together. Man. I'm glad that y'all back together.
yeah. So we're like, look, and I grab these notes and I go, look, man, this is me. Like philosophy notes, talk about things about training, about speed, about what I feel, how, what is speed means to me, what means the nutrition, what is voltage in our system, what we are as humans, like all that. Like I always kind of write and take notes through my journey of experimenting with nutrition, with training, with high performance athletic training. Like the log, for example, that you see me training at the movie, that's a log that I use for my real training when I was in that beach house. So what I try to do with this movie is to do like a little, like, okay, this is what I do until today as a martial artist. So then he put a name to it, like the Fist of the Condors, and we put it in a book. So then we talk about nutrition, we talk about training, we talk about philosophy, we talk about fears, ego, and all these things that basically has been part of my journey as a martial artist, because I've trained different things. I've done kung fu, I've done karate, I've done taekwondo, I've done boxing, MMA, so then, okay, how I can do on my kung fu movie, but not trying to copy a kung fu movie, just bring my journey as a martial artist through Latin America, and then put it in a way that people can understand this journey of this guy that was born there and end up doing martial arts. So then the best example is the wooden dummy, right? The wooden dummy of Wing Chun, it's 3 sticks, 1 in the middle, 2 in the side like this, and then the little leg here. So everything is here, very close, right? But because I've done MMA and I've done boxing, I have a lot of like hook overhands attacks. So then my wooden dummy, it's in the middle, and then you have the 2 attacks in the center, one in the center, 2 low, and then the 2 high that mimic that overhand punch. So that's why when you see me doing the wound dummy, it's like a pa 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 boom, pa 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 boom, and I have this. So I'm inspired by the wooden dummy of the classic wooden dummy, right? But I'm showing like my version of wooden dummy because of my culture and my influences as a martial artist. So of course that was a big challenge, because sometimes you go, oh, how are they gonna take this? It's like I'm changing things, I'm doing. Right. But I at the end it was like, man, I gotta stay honest, and I gotta just do something that is totally honest with myself and who I am. And this is the move, and that's why the Condor is our animal from the Chilean flag. So that's why the whole thing with the wing, like finding the balance with the wing and the Condor position. And I've been doing animal flow the last couple of years, incorporating to my warm up and my mobility. So then it's like, okay, so then I start, and how I add this and make it look like a style for the movie and to tell this story. So, everything started like finding it place to kind of like put it out there, and people can absorb a little bit of my journey as a martial artist.
Yeah.
So with this story, with these two brothers and stuff like that. So that's why, for me, when the cameras were rolling, that to go back to that question, it was just, I needed to just continue being honest and do, that without any prejudice, without any
prejudice. Yep.
Yeah, like, no, man, this I
It's your
need to be
story.
honest. Yeah, you see.
Yep.
And of course you see Bruce Lee, you see Jackie Chan, you see all like the classic movies, but with our music, with our touch, with our influence,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So for me, it's a way of paying respect to basically the people that inspire me and make me, influence.
Do what you do. Yeah.
You see.
Listen, I just got two short, quick answers, and then I'll get you out of here for the day. I gotta know, man. Listen, we're gonna talk about two characters that love to beat people up: Chidi and El Guerrero. Who wins in a fight?
Oh, damn. Well, I don't know, man. That's a tough one. Chidi was pretty well. Maybe Chidi's a little anxious. That's why he lost it. That man, if Chidi would have had the Guerrero mentality, he would have killed John Wick. You know what I'm saying? He was too cocky. He lost his opportunity twice. Right? He got greedy. He was enjoying too much there instead of just go bang and then just finish it. And then, the dog, and then he got screwed up,
Yeah, man. And who wins between John Wick's character, Keanu Reeves' character in John Wick, or Eyal Meyer character in Kalari?
What do you mean, John Wick versus?
Yeah, Eyal Myers, character in Kalari in the Fist of the Condor. Who wins in that fight?
With weapons or without weapons?
Oh, that's a good question. No weapons. Straight hand in hand. Yeah, no weapons.
I will. It depends. If John Wick character managed to come in a close range, then he'll get him. I'll say Kalari will be able, if the fight is short, if he's able to knock him out with distance, then but if he covers good and then he's able to go into the infight, then no chance for Kalari. No chance. Hey, and I gotta ask you a question. What was that moment that you told me? Because you said something and then you didn't
right now. So listen, I'm gonna have to label you Mr. Third Act, because when it comes down to these third big final acts of these films, man, you just show up here. And the moment between your character in Chidi and John Wick, which happened in the boulevard, the circular boulevard in Paris, that scene is nuts.
Yeah.
That is an amazing scene.
Yeah.
And so I absolutely, if any expectations I had in this film, I said, oh, I'm going to need you to go crazy in this. I'm going to need you to close this film in a way that I'm just going to be blown away. And you said, cool, hold my beer. And then in the third act in this, then you have that final moment with El Guerrero and Kalari, which was just nuts, dude. I just want to just know for you, man, just when it comes down to knowing that you got to deliver in these big moments, man, what is the thought going through your head? What is that on and off switch for you, man, knowing that you got to knock it out the park?
Yeah, well, no, man, it's just pushing that limit, man. It's like you train all your life for that moment, and you try to be present in that moment and just give your best. Like, there's no, you enter in this zone of, you want to just do it and do your best, and even better than your best, and I actually discover your best those are the moments that you discover what's your best. And in both cases, like in the fight at the Arc of Triumph, that was crazy, man. That was crazy. You know, it's like, and especially for me being in this crazy production and interacting with all the stunt team and Keanu and Chad and everybody's in their top level, everybody. So you know there's no room for any like mistakes or like, no, man, you gotta and then that's the moment that you ask yourself, you go, well, this is the moment, this is the reason why when I was 6 years old I started training martial arts. This is it. There's no tomorrow. So this is, you go, these things goes to your mind, and then you just get into this adrenaline mode, and man, you feel like you're invincible. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And then, of course, the same thing with the Fist of the Condor. When we're with with Eyal doing this fight scene, it's like, this is it, man. We, you know, and this is when we're experimenting and putting into in front of the camera things that I've been envisioning and training years. So it's a nice process, man. It's a nice process, you know. It's totally like an adrenaline rush, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Listen, Marko, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. Man, we definitely have to keep in touch, man. I look forward to your next project. And I'm just going to just say this, folks, totally check out Fist of the Condor. Again, you can check it out on the Hi-Fi app right now, or you can get it on Blu-ray DVD digital May 23rd. There's a lot more story to be told with this. So,
yeah,
now
so
that the
it's
pandemic,
up to you guys.
yeah,
It's up to
now
you
we got to
guys.
do
If
our
you
work.
support the movie and you show some love, then I'm sure Haya will go, Marko, let's continue this story, you know?
Yes.
So that's why we got to support Haya. We got to support like the DVD when it comes out, Blu-ray, get your copy, support it. And there's, yeah, man, there's a lot of fun things happening for the second film, you know? And of course, you're going to see the two brothers.
Yeah.
We're going to discover in the second film who is the real Fist of the Condor warrior. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we need to discover in this second film, because then he's going to have the responsibility. This brother is going to have the responsibility to be the bookkeeper. You know, like the guy that is going to hold this book. And man, you're going to have people from all over the world wanting to come and get this book. So it's going to be very cool, man.
Awesome. Well, folks, get in the comments, let us know your thoughts about today's interview. Also, check out the film, let us know your thoughts about that. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews, interviews, and content here at Big Old Belt Media very soon. Thank you so much, Marko, for coming through.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.